Hello, welcome to another Left Seat Culture video. My name is Dale and this is another video out of the old archives. So from around March 2022, I think it was, taking my Human Performance exam. So again, another one that if you're studying for your PPL, going through the exam process, hopefully my sharing of my experiences of how I tackled the exams, what pass mark I got, and kind of how my methodology is working will hopefully be helpful to you. So again, back over to past Dale to talk about the Human Performance Ground School Exam Experience. So another exam done this morning as part of my PPL training here in the UK. So I thought I'd talk to you about my process and what I got for the Human Performance exam. So thanks for tuning in for another video in terms of my PPL journey, specifically around the exams. So you would have seen previous video, I did the air law and the operational procedures exams. And then the next ones in my kind of journey are human performance, communications, and meteorology. They're the next kind of three that I'm looking at. And so this morning I had a slight delay in my lesson. So I thought I would take the human performance exam, which was the next one on my list. So this is, I'm going to tell you again my process, how things went, and yeah, what I think about it. So first of all, to update you, I have it here and I did pass. So again, it's a 75% pass rate. I got 91%, which means I got one question wrong, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So in terms of the exam, like the other CAA exams, it's a multiple choice. For this exam, you have 25 minutes. And there are 12 questions, and it took me, or I spent 6 minutes on the exam. There was one question that I wasn't 100% sure on. It was worded strangely. I think there's a theme here. So I did spend a little bit of time rereading over that one. But in general, for me, I feel like the Human Performance is potentially one of the easier exams. The reason for that is, in general, a lot of it is kind of high school biology, at least in my brain. So they're covering bits about how the eye works, how the ear works. So a lot of times, if you've been to high school, you can remember some of that. It's kind of just refresher stuff. So that was pretty straightforward. A lot of the rest of it is kind of common sense, and then there's just a few little bits and bobs that you need to kind of get up to speed with. As with the previous exam, my kind of study strategy is as follows. I have the Pooleys books, which I will come back to in a moment. So I read the whole of the Pooleys book first. Then I sign up for the EasyPPL course and exam. I go through all of the slides on EasyPPL along with the kind of modular questions as we go through to kind of check your competency with each of the kind of modules in that slide, on the slide deck. And at the end, I do the kind of overall exam, and then basically the questions I've got wrong, I read through their feedback as to why I got the question wrong, make a little note as to the areas that I'm struggling with, come back again to the Pooleys book, check out some of the specifics on there, and then also check again in the EasyPPL slides for the areas that I'm not doing too well of. And I kind of rinse and repeat that kind of last process. And I take the final exam again, and then go through the same process. My goal is always, once I'm getting 90% or more consistently, then I'm pretty happy that I'm going to be ready for the exam. And for a while now, I was getting either 100% or 95% every single time. So I just thought that I would be ready. So the reason I mention again about the Pooleys books is I actually have the older Pooleys books. So if you're watching this, you're either going to be flaming me in the comments now, but hear me out. So I got the older Pooleys books because I found them cheap. Someone was selling them on eBay. So like this one, the Human Performance book, they're all from different age ranges. This one was the 4th edition, printed in 2011, so quite old. And obviously things are changing in the CAA, but in general, I'm finding that most of the stuff, the general concepts and everything are still valid, even if the books are older. So in my opinion, if you can get the books, older books for a good price, then definitely consider getting them. I use the books because I spend my life on computers, and sometimes I just want to sit down and read something on paper as opposed to using an iPad. But then the advantage of the EasyPPL, and you could just use EasyPPL, I think. But then obviously the EasyPPL is definitely up to date. So it bridges the gap between any old theoretical knowledge I have from the paper-based stuff to the electronic stuff. And obviously then the exam bank, like I said before, is very similar to the CAA exam bank. So it helps prepare you really well. So that's what I've been doing. And again, 91%. So it's a good result. I'm happy with that. On the end of the exam, after you've taken it, it says basically the area or the question you got wrong. It doesn't tell you the exact question you got wrong. So for me, the syllabus subject was 040.04.01.02. And if we look on the private pilots examinations kind of syllabus on the CAA website, so we have 040.04.01.02. Right. So this says perception, perceptual illusions, subjectivity of perception, processes of perception. And I got to be honest with you, I don't remember a question in the question bank that I got that relates to that. So in my head, that would be something about like your perception in poor visibility or in the rain, obviously how that impacts things, perception of objects at night. They're the kind of things that I'd be expecting to be related to that question. And I didn't have that come up in the exam, and I can't actually remember the question that I struggled with, but it wasn't that. It was like a scenario question, like Bob is flying with his friends. They're going to pick up other friends. They've got more baggage than they should have. They decide to take the flight because Bob's under peer pressure, but they can't make it out the climb. What did Bob do wrong? That's the kind of thing that the question I struggled with. Not the struggle was more that the question was worded weirdly. The only other thing for human performance that, in my opinion, that I struggled with a little bit, so I had to spend some time to make sure I had it right in my mind, and also make sure that you'll have to take a calculator in for this exam, is there is some questions in terms of human performance about collision speeds and things. So it's going to be based on how fast you're flying, flight speed, and there's a calculation that's good to get in your memory, so that then you can work out how many seconds you have reaction time before an incident's going to happen. So that was it. I hope it kind of helps. Human performance done. Comms is the next one. I'm studying for comms at the moment. I'm getting varied results. Sometimes I'm getting like 90%, sometimes I'm getting like 70%. So still work to do on that one, which I'm going to do some revision over Christmas, and then I'm going to make a start on the meteorology stuff as well. Hope this video is helpful. Hope this series is helpful. Feel free to leave any comments or questions down in the comments below. If this video has been helpful and you're enjoying it, please consider pressing that like button. And as with most things, consider subscribing and pressing the notification icon for other flight training related videos. Obviously flights in the future when I one day get my PPL. So good news to past me. Obviously we did pass, and there's lots of aviation content on the channel and continues to build. So if this one's been helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. If you want to obviously join us for future aviation content as well, be a great place to see you and join us. Also consider joining the Discord group if you want to kind of participate more real time. But if I'm really lucky, I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself, and goodbye for now.